the lights go out, and we've got 6 minutes left in the show, and we get the like dry ice throughout the floor, and a big door opens, and out,
Almost exactly like Extreme Rules.
it was almost verbatim
Yeah.
of the Extreme Rules return of Bray Wyatt in 2022. The door opens and out crawls Nikki Cross towards a lantern. And then we have kind of like a first person perspective taking us through the backstage area where everyone is laid out unconscious. There's a blood splatter all over the wall of, I guess someone got shot in the head. And it's amid the various characters that now make up, I guess we'll call them the Wyatt Six, if that's the official name they're going with. And this includes a bloodied Chad Gable. Maybe there were some others, but I didn't see them all. It was very darkened. And then we come upon Uncle Howdy, who walks towards the entrance as the five members of this group reach the lantern, and that is how the show goes off.
Five. So far, five members. A sixth, I guess, to be determined, to be revealed. But we can probably assume like the identities of the five that we saw today, and they were each playing one of the characters that I guess were inspired by the members of the Firefly Funhouse. We have, of course, Nikki Cross dressed up as who we would assume to be a version of Sister Abigail, if not Sister Abigail herself. We have Ramblin' Rabbit with the mallet, and of course, we can you and I know those mallets really well. Probably Eric Rowan attached to that. Now we also have Mercy the Buzzard, who is sitting atop the dresser, and just by judging the tattoos, I think we can assume that to be Dexter Loomis. And then we have a guy in the pig mask, and again, maybe judging by the tattoos, I would assume Joe Gacy. So those are at least the five right now, and if there is a sixth, I guess we will find out. But what an incredibly like cool visual to close off. What were your thoughts on the segment itself?
Very elaborate in terms of like the presentation of it. I think that it like to do this on live television. Like I think like much like the Bray return, like you're doing this live and you were adding in the perspective of like the camera operator that pretty much had to just go, and it's like just one continuous shot backstage. I thought that like the production of it was very, very high end. At the end of this, I can't say this is an element of WWE that I was missing. I will be open-minded to this. I think that this is going to be, you are obviously going to have so much positive sentiment towards this because of the like just automatic attachment to Bray Wyatt, the fact that his brother is involved here. There are going to be a lot of people rooting for this to succeed. I think it's going to be very difficult to weave this in. But again, I want to see how it's done and how it differs from the last time. I was not a big fan of the Wyatt family, the last incarnation. They brought him in. It was like a great return of Bray Wyatt. That Extreme Rules, I think, was very effective. The QR code campaign did really well for them. And several months in, we sort of, that lessened with a lot of people. So we will see where this goes. In terms of an introduction, like it seemed like the audience thought this was super cool. And there's definitely going to be the people that love this kind of thing. And it's got a lot of sentimental value for people. I am not sold on it though. It's just, it's not really, I've just seen this struggle a lot, that they have never been able to really nail down these types of characters in WWE, and we will see if they have some alternate direction to go in.
So they've had many tries at this, just kind of throughout the Bray Wyatt, career itself. They've had many instances of trying to push this sort of supernatural story, character, group, whatever you want to call it. And the failing has always seemed to be the match itself. The vignettes are always almost cool. They even dating back to like Bray Wyatt's debut. Certainly, everything to do with the White Rabbit or the Fiend. Like the everything leading up to it. The production has always been amazing, and that was exactly the case with this. Like this visual is amazing. Seeing this group like together as the five of them with the Bray Wyatt lantern as well. It looked amazing. It's going to be about the matches and whatever will result in ring. That will be the determinant of whether or not this is going to be a complete success. We can, I think, already tell that in terms of merchandising, that alone is enough to justify the existence of a group like this. They're going to sell a ton of merch just based off of like this sort of imagery. So I do think there's a real place for this, certainly within a modern day WWE. The fans are telling you that they all want it. But can it deliver when it's time to bring a match in? Can they get by simply promoting this without having to have it end in ring? Or are they going to maybe take a bit more of a realistic slant to the in-ring portions of this and just have these guys come out as like, these crazy characters, but they will have more straight up wrestling matches? Is that going to be a successful formula?
Does it work as a babyface act? Like, did you take them? Like, it's gonna be very tough for these audiences to like boo this act because of the connections to Bray Wyatt, but it really does not lend itself to being babyface characters either. Like, there's a lot of struggle with this that you can foresee, but again, I'll be open-minded about it. If it works, it works. But
I think they should be taking the Undertaker, formula with this. And like the Undertaker, yes, was spooky throughout like most of his career, but when I think wrestling audiences became a bit more sophisticated, to me, like he reached his peak when he was sort of like, I don't know, respected as like this sort of incredible netherworldly being, but still ended up having pretty straightforward wrestling matches. Now, is there a great wrestler among this group? Okay, that's another kind of big question. Who is really the strongest wrestler of them all?
Nikki Cross.
Like maybe I like Eric Rowan, but like can you get great wrestling matches in 2024? I think that matters way more than really anything else. Like you could be flashy as hell, you could be marketable with a gimmick, but how high you are going to be on a card, I think it very much is determined about whether or not you could deliver in the ring. That's even true for the WWE, a company as sort of like as heavy on like these sort of things. People like, do you agree, guys? Nikki Cross is the best wrestler among the group. Chat room is weighing in right now. But certainly it'll get people talking, and I think it's I'm glad we finally have at least a reveal of this group.